Welcome back to the Poke Report, where we talk about everything Oklahoma State athletics.
On this edition, we'll take a look into OSU athletics like football and also dive into the other spring sports.
I'm Asa Lucas.
And I'm Dallas Haggerty.
OSU athletics are making some big plays recently, and the Cowboys are getting some big wins.
The Cowboys are off to a hot 5-0 start after taking on the Baylor Bears last Saturday, and the fans are buzzing, to say the least.
Last time the Cowboys were 5-0 was back in 2015.
Dallas, what was your favorite play of last Saturday's game?
I really like the defense. We've been playing really well, keeping the offense in the game, and really it's given us a chance. Our very own Colin Miller has the story.
The 21st ranked Baylor Bears traveled to Stillwater Saturday to face the 19th ranked Cowboys. The Pokes were off to a quick start as their first drive went 75 yards for a Jalen Warren touchdown. The first half was a defensive battle most of the way through, but with just 36 seconds left, Spencer Sanders connected with Rashad Owens for a 32-yard Pokes touchdown. The OSU defense was dominant in the first half, leading the Pokes to a 14-0 lead headed into the third quarter. Both defenses kept up their dominant play throughout the third quarter until just 3 minutes left, Baylor's Abram Smith ran it 55 yards for a Bears touchdown. The Cowboys moved the ball down the field on their ensuing drive, with help from a 26-yard pass from Spencer Sanders to Tay Martin. For one of the few times this game, Oklahoma State was in Baylor's red zone, but was not able to capitalize. Tanner Brown was able to convert a 20-yard field goal, extending the Pokes' lead to 17-7. In the very next possession, Baylor's Gary Bohannon was able to connect with Tyquan Thornton for a 55-yard pass to the Oklahoma State 21-yard line. Just 4 plays later, Bohannon brought the Bears within 3 with a 1-yard touchdown run. Despite Baylor's comeback effort, Jalen Warren put the nail in the coffin with just 2 minutes left with a 4-yard touchdown run. The Pokes moved to 5-0 as they look ahead to Texas in just 2 weeks. Coach Gundy spoke to the media after the game.
I think the challenge for them will get greater each week. Texas seems to be moving the ball some and scoring some points, so that'll be a good challenge for them on the road. But overall, we need a break. We've been at it 8 weeks. Guys are tired, beat up, sore, so it's good to finish. It's good to be 5-0. I'm proud of the guys, the way they compete. And just keep moving forward.
For the Poke Report, I'm Colin Miller.
That was a big win for the Cowboys, all due to Jalen Warren, who's been a key player to watch.
Jalen Warren has been really impressive for the Cowboys, stepping up in the last couple of games. Transfer from Utah State, we look really forward to seeing what he can do.
Siler Gable has an exclusive on how Jalen Warren became the Big 12 Player of the Week.
The Oklahoma State Cowboys are on a roll going into this 2021 football season. After starting the year 2-0, the Cowboys lost their starting running back, L.D. Brown, due to injury. Since then, the Cowboys have resorted to redshirt senior Jalen Warren. Warren has had a rather unusual experience as a college running back over the last 3 years. The 3-star recruit began his college career at Snow Junior College. At Snow, he led the nation with 154.9 rushing yards per game and was named the NJCAA Offensive Player of the Year. Following his freshman and sophomore season at Snow Junior College, Warren transferred to Utah State. He carried his dominant rushing ability to a team-leading 5 rushes for over 20 yards. After a total of 15 games at Utah State between his junior and senior year, Warren transferred to Oklahoma State. In his relatively short time here at OSU, he has proven to be a reliable candidate for that starting running back position.
As we approach 6th game in the Cowboy football season, Jalen Warren has shown that good things happen to those who wait. In his last 3 starting appearances, Warren has rushed for nearly 500 yards and was named the Big 12 Newcomer of the Week, marking the 3rd Big 12 weekly honor since claiming the starting position. While he wasn't expected to start at the beginning of the season, Warren has taken this opportunity to show Cowboy fans that he has what it takes.
He worked extremely hard in off-season and winter conditioning. He worked extremely hard in the spring. We gave him some carries, and he practices hard. His attitude's good. He believes in himself. He's confident in his ability to extend his body. So I'm not really concerned with him at that point. My concern is the number of hits he takes, because that position is difficult.
Yeah.
But he proved to us early in the year, early in 2021, that he was going to be a pretty durable guy that could carry the workload.
After 3 solid weeks for Warren, the Cowboys are heading into a bye week, which couldn't come at a better time in the season. As the team has a chance to rest up, anticipation is high on who will be starting in the backfield in the next game against Texas Longhorns. For the Poke Report, I'm Siler Gable.
What a great story. It's going to be exciting to see him play after this bye week.
With his great production, we look forward to seeing him back on the field.
Before we get into the rest of the Big 12 games, upcoming games, and our favorite Cowboy moments as fans, we're going to take a quick commercial break.
I want to show you something. This is the money we could save by switching from fresh packed California crushed tomatoes to concentrated tomato paste.
I want to show you something too. I got a new door. Go take a look at it.
Nobody uses better ingredients than Little Caesars, like fresh packed California crushed tomatoes. Pick up a large, deep dish for just $8.
Pizza, pizza.
Welcome back to the Poke Report. There's been a lot of great action in the Big 12 this week. Our Big 12 analyst Brock Baldridge has game previews, highlights, and more information on the Big 12.
Greetings, everybody. I'm Brock Baldridge, the Big 12 analyst for the Poke Report. We had a full slate of football this past weekend. In fact, the only remaining teams in the Big 12 that are undefeated reside in the state of Oklahoma. That could be a big developing story as the season goes on. But let's move on to some highlights where there are plenty of good games to choose from this past weekend. We start in the Little Apple, Manhattan, Kansas. It's the Wildcats conference home opener against the Sooners. Kansas State beat Oklahoma for the last 2 seasons. Can they make it 3? Early in the first quarter, Jacardier Wright coughs it up. That is a live football. Nick Bonito scoops it up as he is rumbling and stumbling down the sideline, but can he score? No, he cannot. K-State's quarterback Skylar Thompson makes the stop, not the start he was looking for coming off the injury. Wildcats hold the Sooners to a field goal late in the first quarter. K-State has not thrown a touchdown pass to a wide receiver all season. Right on cue, Thompson to Brooks, purple and white, fight. Wildcats are on the board as they lead the Sooners 7-3. OU would respond quickly. 3rd and short, deep in the K-State territory. We have some trickery. Jeremiah Hall dives into the end zone with the pigskin. Sooners regain the lead. It's now 10-7 OU. On to the second half. Both teams try off with a pair of field goals. Sooners have the ball, 2nd and goal. Spencer Rattler, underhand toss to Kennedy Brooks as he powers through defenders to give the Sooners a double-digit lead. It's now 20-10 OU. Sooners aren't done yet. Rattler is in trouble, but he steps up in the pocket, directing traffic. He throws the dime pass to Michael Woods. He is inbounds. It's 27-10 OU. We now head to the fourth quarter. Sooners with a comfortable 37-24 lead. Behold the horses on the Sooner Schooner. Malik Knowles returning the punt all the way. This would be very significant to some, both on and off the field. Second straight week, Knowles has returned one for a touchdown, and all of a sudden we have a ball game. Last chance for the Wildcats. with an onside kick. OU recovers it, and that will finish it for good. Final score here, Sooners 37, Wildcats 31. Despite a stellar performance from Skylar Thompson and Deuce Vaughn, it just wasn't enough. Oklahoma starts the season off 5-0, while K-State drops to 3-2 on the season, losing both of their conference games to both of the Oklahoma schools. We now go to Morgantown. Country Roads, take me home. West Virginia trying to bounce back after that tough fight they put up in Norman. In the first quarter, Roderick Thompson takes the halfback dive into the end zone. Red Raiders strike first to make it 7-0 Texas Tech. Later in the quarter, West Virginia just trying to settle in. Then, oh no, Colin Schuler strips the ball out of Jared Diggy's hand, and the Red Raiders recover it. Texas Tech will make the most of their opportunity. First and goal on the 1-yard line. Roderick Thompson again stood up, but wait! The Great Wall of Lubbock drives him into the end zone. Thompson's second TD of the day. It's now 14-0 Red Raiders. Texas Tech would then finish off the first half with a field goal as time expires, as Tech leads 17-0 at halftime. Their head coach, Matt Wells, looks energized as his team played a flawless first half. On to the second half. Mountaineers made some halftime adjustments. Quarterback Jared Diggy, flick of the wrist, over the top to Sam James. Later in that drive, Letty Brown takes it up the middle, and the Mountaineers are on the board, but they still trail 17-7. Late in the third quarter, after a Mountaineer field goal, West Virginia makes it a one-possession game. Jared Diggy gives the Red Raiders a taste of their own medicine with the air raid as he finds Isaiah Isdale for the big gain there. Later in the drive, Diggy to Isdale again. He gets leveled at the goal line. We have targeting called. Mountaineers have tied up the game at 17 apiece. On to the fourth quarter. Both teams kicked field goals and were tied up at 20 with less than 4 minutes to go. Red Raider quarterback Henry Columbine heaves it down the field to Kalen Geiger. Pat Mahomes would be proud. Red Raiders now in business. Texas Tech milks the clock. Fourth and goal with 22 seconds left. Jonathan Garibay on for a 32-yard attempt. He splits the uprights, and that will seal the deal. The autumn wind came to Morgantown with a red flavor. Texas Tech defeats West Virginia on the road by a final score of 23-20. That's the third straight year Texas Tech has defeated West Virginia, for the third time that the Red Raiders have defeated the Mountaineers in Morgantown since West Virginia joined the Big 12. Some other scores around the conference included Oklahoma State picking up that big win over Baylor, 24-14. Texas survives TCU, winning 32-27. Longhorns picking up only their third win over the Horned Frogs since they joined the Big 12. Then Iowa State takes out some frustration on Kansas by demolishing the Jayhawks, 59-7. Let's take a look at some Big 12 matchups going into the week. Oklahoma State, Iowa State, Kansas, and Kansas State all have bye weeks, but plenty of good action around the league as the Red River rivalry will be taking place in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas this weekend. Both Oklahoma and Texas are undefeated to start conference play. That should be a great game as always. Kickoff for the future SEC teams will kick off at 11 a.m. Another game that will kick off at 11 a.m. is just down the road in Waco. The Baylor Bears host the West Virginia Mountaineers. Pretty important game for West Virginia if they want to stay competitive in the conference this season. Then out toward West Texas, the Red Raiders will take on the Horned Frogs in prime time with kickoff set to start at 6 o'clock. That's all the time we have today for Big 12 updates. Be sure to tune in next week. Now back over to Dallas and Asa.
Thanks, Brock. The Big 12 has a big slate of games this weekend, and with our bye week, we will all be watching. Partner, what game are you excited to watch this weekend?
I'm really looking forward to the Red River Showdown. UT's going to have a test in OU. They're already a one-loss team to Arkansas, and we have a bye week to prepare for them, so a two-loss Texas team could mean good things for the Cowboys.
I'll be excited to watch TCU and Texas Tech kind of battle. Normally they've been Big 12 bottom dwellers, but you never know. Texas Tech could be 5-1 at the end of this Saturday.
It's the Big 12. Anything can happen. And since we have a bye week this week, I think it's just about time to share our best moments of the season thus far.
Of course, we're 5-0. Let's look at these highlights, man. What's your list?
I'm looking at first off, I'm going to take a look at the moments. The fumble recovery in the end zone against K-State by Malcolm Rodriguez really was a huge pivotal play. Kind of gave us a chance late against K-State, and we prevailed. So
especially after that kickoff return, you could feel the whole stadium was just quiet. We were all nervous, and yeah, that brought back a lot of momentum.
Absolutely. Another moment is from the Baylor game with Warren's fourth down touchdown to really seal the deal. It was a big call to run it there on that fourth down. The Cowboys have a lot of confidence in Warren here early on in the season.
You know, normally Oklahoma State, we like to play conservative. We were all worried if Mike Gundy was going to kick the field goal on that. But that drive, that touchdown drive, really sealed the deal, gave us the dub.
And of course, from the Tulsa game, LD Brown's kick return touchdown. We saw earlier in the season, Brown ran one back 98 yards for the touchdown, and he's really been the spark for the Cowboys until that unfortunate injury.
The fans in the stadium after that kickoff return, we finally felt like this Oklahoma State football team could do something different if our special teams can play like that.
Correct.
That was a fun moment. I got to agree with you, Dallas. LD Brown has been an amazing player, and hopefully when he gets back, can do something like that again. The final moment for me, though, would be Spencer Sanders' throw on 3rd and 7 against Boise State. You remember that when he threw to the true freshman? Kind of sealed us that win out of that nasty game with the bad referees. Boise State was scary on the road, and that was nice to see Spencer Sanders make a clutch moment.
Gutsy call for the Cowboys down the stretch to do that. Such a young player like that. Really impressive game for them.
Yeah. It's been a wonderful season for the Cowboys. Not the most beautiful, not the most pretty season, but being 5-0, it makes me anxious but also excited when the Cowboys are traveling up to Austin on the 16th of October to play Longhorns.
That's all great stuff. We're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll dive into tennis and softball.
Love these things. Hilarious. I'm sorry. Force of habit.
As long as you are you, it's Miller time.
Hi, it's Sam at Louis Grill and Bar, here to introduce our new menu items from south of the border. Come try our new poblano chicken tacos, or the ever-popular sriracha shrimp tacos. At Louis, where you come for the food, but stay for the fun.
At ASAP Energy, our goal is to provide the best customer service for whatever our clients need.
My relationship with ASAP Energy came about in 2007. I was wanting to build a convenience store. I didn't know how to do it. I'd never been in the business. I just felt comfortable with Rick. And so I knew that I wanted to do business with a guy like that. Integrity, loyalty, and family. I would recommend that to anybody. Thanks for taking a chance on me.
At ASAP Energy, everything matters.
Welcome back. We talked a lot about football before the break.
As much as we like talking about our beloved Cowboy football, it's time to take a dive into some other sports.
Softball is becoming back in action, and the NCAA recently has made some new scheduling requirements to stop disadvantages at the Women's College World Series. Brock Baldridge has the story.
Oklahoma State is in the middle of their fall ball season. Coaches and players expect the team to be much better than they were the year before. Oklahoma State lost to Florida State in the Women's College World Series this past summer. There was plenty of controversy on whether the game should have even been played, and now the NCAA has stepped in to make an immediate change. Oklahoma State was poised to make a deep run in the 2021 Women's College World Series. The Cowgirls found themselves in an elimination game to try to keep their season alive, but major severe thunderstorms in the Oklahoma City area delayed the game until midnight instead of postponing the game. According to NCAA rules to meet the schedule requirements, both teams had no choice and were told to take the field very late into the night, which resulted in a 4-2 loss to Florida State that ended the Cowgirls' season. Last September, the NCAA noticed the problem and stepped in to expand the Women's College World Series to be a 9-day event to avoid any scheduling conflicts like what Oklahoma State had to deal with. Cowgirl head coach Kenny Gajewski gave his thoughts on the new changes.
I felt like they showed action. It's a bummer that it took teams having to play at 12 at night to make that happen. Like, we need to be better about not being reactive, being proactive. And I think what the NCAA is finding, or finally it's realizing, somebody's realizing that has some power, is this game is about as attractive as any game out there.
Oklahoma State softball was very pleased by the new ruling by the NCAA. Now teams have the flexibility to have games postponed if weather becomes a major threat. The Cowgirls now only know that the only way they can use this cushion to their advantage is if they make it back to the Women's College World Series. For the Poke Report, I'm Brock Baldridge.
The new rule change could really help teams during the World Series, and if Cowgirls softball can get there, they have a shot at redemption.
Luckily, our Cowgirl softball team has been hard at work this offseason, and leadership and strength have been the theme. Kylie Austin has the story.
The leadership and close bonding on the Cowgirl softball team is lining them up to have a successful spring season. The Cowgirls are currently 3-0 in fall ball. This commanding beginning shows the team's strength with a lot of credit to leadership. They added several names to their roster over the offseason, and these additions are making the team even better this year.
I think the one thing that we've learned over time is that no matter what happened last year, no matter how similar the team may be personnel-wise, it's different.
Sitting in these seats right here at Cowgirl Stadium is the best place to watch seniors like Kylie Naomi show off their leadership skills right here on the field.
Just as my leadership's developed over the years, I used to be I feel like more of an action type of person, but as I grow older and now I'm a senior, I feel like my communication's got to be a little bit more than what it used to be.
The development of the leadership on the team is also felt by teammates anticipating the season.
I honestly think we're better. I think that we're a lot more talented. I'm excited for how this year's going to go and just build off of last year.
Having strong leadership is important for the Cowgirls because they benefit from having experienced players. These players are helping the cohesion and skills of their teammates and find success through each other. The Cowgirls were 48-12 in the 2021 regular season and continued their play into the postseason. The team are 15-3 in postseason play, where they appeared at the Big 12 Championship, Super Regionals, as well as playing in the College World Series. The team chemistry based around their leadership plays a crucial role in the team's performance. Their mentality this season is focused on improving and advancing farther into the postseason. But the Cowgirls' run at a postseason begins in the preseason. Watch Cowgirl Leadership in action at the Cowgirls' next game Saturday night at 6.
Hearing that the team is in good shape is always good news. If they can keep up the hard work during fall ball, who knows what they're capable of.
To stay on the topic of OSU women's athletics, Rodrigo Solis visited the Michael and Ann Greenwood Tennis Center. A visit with some of the Oklahoma State women's tennis team members and head coach Chris Young about the upcoming season.
The Oklahoma State Cowgirls tennis team started off their preseason tournaments for the upcoming 2022 season. The Cowgirls are built with an experienced team. Junior Alana Wolfberg qualified individually for the NCAA tournament last year and is expecting to compete in it again.
Individually, I want to be the best that I can for this team. I want to do my part. I want to be a good teammate, a good friend, a good competitor. I'm looking to go back to the individual NCAA tournament as well and see what I can do there.
Last year, the Cowgirls qualified as a team for the NCAA tournament for the 9th consecutive year, the second longest streak in program history. They will look to make it 10 in 2022.
The Cowgirls team comes back to the court with plenty of experience as they return 5 out of their 8 players from last year. Some of them already know what it's like to compete at the NCAA tournament. They're looking to improve from last year's first-round loss. In spite of the limitations that COVID put on the 2021 season, the Cowgirls proved that their home court advantage was still a factor. Of their 11 wins, 8 were at home, and now with full capacity, the Cowgirls look to increase their home court advantage even more.
Yeah, I think that's something that we've always had a really good home court advantage here. I think that's something that up until last year, just being able to rely on the fans to really help the girls pull through some tough matches, and last year was tough. Not having as many fans in the stands, but that's something that I think we're known for around the country in college tennis, is having really good fan and crowd support, so I'm excited to get that back.
Martina Cerullo was recruited from Italy and spent her first 3 years playing college tennis at Arkansas before transferring to OSU this year. Cerullo is excited about the new challenge and is optimistic about the season.
Probably the biggest goal, getting the championship with the girls and getting back, on the ranking single and as a team as well. So they're pretty high expectation, but I believe this team can do it.
The Cowgirls will host the Big 12 Fall Championships in November and will start their indoor season in January at the Freeman Memorial Tournament in Las Vegas. For the Polk Report, I'm Rodrigo Solis.
It's never too early to talk about spring sports, and with all this experience, the Cowgirls are going to have a pretty good shot at winning the championship.
OSU has been impressive when it comes to athletics this year. From Jalen Warren's Big 12 Player of the Week to Kaylee McGinty's Big 12 Golfer of the Month, the Cowboys have been something. This will mark her first Big 12 Golfer of the Month, and this will be the first season that a Cowgirl golfer has been recognized. McGinty is a transfer from Kent State and started her career at the Sam Golden Invitational. She shot 2 under to close out the tournament with a third-place finish at 12 under. OSU will return October 17th at the Jim West Challenge at Kissing Tree Golf Club in San Marcos, Texas.
If I was a betting man, I'd put all my money on her to win it all.
Absolutely. She's one heck of a golfer.
Well, McGinty is playing the right way, and we're proud to claim her as an OSU Cowgirl. And on that note, we're going to end this week's edition of the Polk Report. I'm Asa Lucas.
And I'm Dallas Haggerty.
We'll see you next time, and go Pokes.